If you're using the wireless router from your internet service provider, watch this video and I can help you increase your speeds quite a bit. By the way, there's Goose behind me on the stairs right there, so if you guys want to see a cat, there you go. So if you guys are using the modem and wireless router combo that most internet service providers give these days, you're probably getting really crappy Wi-Fi, at least the majority of the time. Sometimes, you know, if you get maybe the 50 megabyte internet line, maybe you get some faster internet or faster router, but a lot of times they give you just a really shoddy router that's gonna give you crappy speeds first off, and also really bad reliability in my opinion as well, or at least in my case. I have consolidated DSL, which is the only thing available in the country out here. As you can see, I'm in the country, so yeah, the wireless is terrible. And if you just buy like a $100 wireless router, you can greatly increase your speeds. $100 really isn't that much when you're talking about internet, and it's a one-time cost, unlike the fact that they're gonna charge you like $5, $10 a month for their crappy modem router, which is absolute garbage, by the way. Look at him, he's so pretty. So here's my router back here. Of course, like I said, I have consolidated DSL, which blows, of course, but it's the only thing available here. It's 20 megabit here. The fastest thing you can get. Okay, Comtrend, yeah, that's the brand of this router. So yeah, it's absolute garbage. The wireless built into this, it was so bad that whenever we first got it, I told Consolidated to give us a new router, and they did, and it helped a little bit. But yeah, and the fact that they give you like second-hand routers really doesn't help a lot of the times too. So sorry about the fact that my lighting is terrible, but I don't know if you can kind of tell back here. I really don't use this router too much for wireless. I kind of just use it as a as like an Ethernet, you know, switch, I guess. So that yellow one goes to this splitter over here, and that black one over there. Disregard the yellow one on the left. That black Ethernet cable goes all the way over here with all my like gaming consoles and stuff like that. And if we go over there as well, I have a wireless router plugged into that. So basically what I have my internet set up as, I basically just have like Ethernet cables going everywhere to Ethernet switches, which give much better speeds. Regardless of the router, you're always going to get better speeds Ethernet. But basically, even if the router is terrible, a lot of times Ethernet is still pretty good at least. So in this case, I just have it running all the way over there, and then I have this thing plugged in Ethernet to the switcher. And from what I've shown, and what I'll be showing in this video, I'm getting a lot better speeds from this Asus router. This isn't really a crazy great Asus router. Maybe wireless, well, it's wireless N, I know for sure, and maybe like 300 megabit per second. That's what it's rated for at least. But it's a lot better than that piece of crap that we have over there. So I'll be running through some tests on my phone. I'll turn off cellular data, so that shouldn't be really too much of a concern. But I'll have some tests down here, and then also go upstairs, where the signal quality is usually a lot worse, of course, speed, and a lot of times the signal just breaks out totally up there, at least when you use the crappy modem. So let's find out on video. So you guys have an idea. Goose Interweb is the good router, the one that's behind my TV here, and Goose Interweb Wi-Fi is the crappy router that's for the internet service provider. So just in case you guys know, and Goose is my cat, by the way, so it's his interweb, so we'll test the speeds. So we pay for 20 megabit internet, and if we're pretty much, you know, like right next to the good router, we almost get that, you know, 19, so that's not too bad at all, and then 1 megabit up. So that's kind of our baseline down here for the good router. It is going to degrade a little bit, of course, upstairs, because that's what wireless internet does. But let's go ahead and test the other router now as well. And if we're right next to the other router, you can see it there to the left of my fingers. We still get pretty good speeds. It looks like it's about like, you know, maybe a little more than 2 megabit per second slower, even if we're right next to the modem. I have noticed, like, for example, like, I don't know if you guys can see right here. So I have the modem right there, and then I run an Ethernet cable down here to my Amazon Fire TV here in my room. I used to run wireless here, and you would think, hey, wireless from there to there, which shouldn't be that bad, it's just one little wall. For video, I found that it's very, very unstable. So even for that short distance using that router. But you You can get good speeds, I guess, at least if you're using like a cell phone, if you're not doing video playback. So let's go ahead and test it upstairs in a few different locations. For the next test, we're gonna go upstairs, as you guys can see, and just go like into like the living room above, directly above the basement basically. So it's going through the floor. That's pretty much it for the most part. So let's see what the speeds are standing up here. As you guys can see, the speeds are pretty consistent for the good router. We're using the Asus router right now. And yeah, still got pretty much the same as the first test, maybe a little bit more, but I mean, internet speed tests aren't totally consistent, you know. So yeah, that's not too bad. And now, literally standing in the same place as I did the Asus router test, which I'm kind of in between both of them, to be honest, upstairs. The test speed did decrease quite a bit. Upload is still pretty much in the same arena, which it kind of usually always is. But our download is, you know, 13.5 maybe, you know, right around there. So yeah, test speeds definitely degrade a lot more for the crappy router. And one more test that I like to do is, I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes I'm in the bathroom, you know, I want like a little bit of music playing or something, or even though we're not going that far away, I guess there's just a lot of walls here in my bathroom. What up, y'all? I just get terrible signal in here. So we'll try it in here and see what happens in here as well. And look at that, there's Mavi. Hey cat, how you doing? Our signal definitely went down. It's actually showing right now, it's showing 3 bars for the internet, for the crappy router, and only 1 bar for the good router. But that's not always a telltale to the speed and reliability, at least on my phone, to be honest. Maybe it's more of a telltale in Windows, as you saw the crappy router just drop down a little bit more. So we'll see what the speeds are, I guess. So first off, I'd like you guys to keep in mind the fact that we're actually farther away from the Asus router than we are the consolidated internet service provider router. And our speeds are still pretty dang good. 16 and well, almost 17 megabit per second. So that's pretty nice. Upload is staying about the same as it pretty much always does. So yeah, I'd like to mention that first. We are farther away from the Asus router, but we'll see what the consolidated router does. And we're actually getting not too bad speeds right now. Now this is all after I made Consolidated swap out the router, because first they gave us a really crazy router that, you know, I'd have to like restart it once a week or it would be total shit. Oh, that's weird, our upload went down a little bit. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, our download wasn't too terrible, but keep in mind we are actually closer to the internet service provider router. Basically what I'm kind of trying to say here is upgrade your internet service provider router. I guess I'll just go ahead and go back downstairs and show you guys the routers again. But yeah, so you know, the internet service provider router, it's a lot less reliable for video, and it's just worse signal, worse speed, and I think the worst thing about it is if you go, you know, just a little bit too far, like it'll go out, and like the Asus router over there, I can still get signal sometimes on like the driveway and stuff like that. So moral of the story, don't use the router from your internet service provider. Goose said so. So yeah, they're just crap. If you can, try to run an Ethernet cable at least, you know, a little bit farther away from the router, because you really don't want 2 routers right next to each other conflicting, if you can. Just generally speaking, the routers from internet service providers are terrible. Spend $100 on like an Asus router or another brand. I mean, there's other good brands too. Netgear has decent stuff, TP-Link. Really, as long as you're spending like $100 on a router, it's probably going to be at least somewhat decent. It's going to be better than the router that they gave you. And then you can keep it after that too for other internet service providers. And it'll probably last you at least 5 years if you don't buy one that's total garbage. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful for you. If you need any suggestions for your Wi-Fi solutions, leave them down there in the comment section below. I know a little bit of Wi-Fi. I do fix computers and shit, so I have to deal with internet stuff all the time, of course. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you crazy motherfuckers later. What's up, Goosey? Doesn't want to look at the camera. Too cool.